Well, several 2024 Republican presidential candidates are hitting the campaign trail today. Two former governors, Christie and Asa Hutchinson, are campaigning in New Hampshire, while Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is holding an event in South Carolina. DeSantis appeared on Fox News yesterday, where he defended his anti-LGBTQ position in schools and discussed foreign policy.
All we're doing in Florida is having the temerity to fight back, to protect the integrity of the education for our kids, to protect parents' rights, to be able to send their kid to school and have the school focus on the basics and not teach a young kid that they can change their gender, that they were born in the wrong body. We need to make sure that we have the ability to project the appropriate strength in the Pacific to work with our allies to deter China. China understands the language of strength. And I think what Joe Biden has done since his first day in office, he's projected weakness.
Well, CBS News political reporter Aaron Navarro is in Washington following all the movements of these GOP candidates. So let's start with Governor Ron DeSantis. I mean, his inclination is to appear on what you would call friendly platforms, which I think Fox News is. What else stood out to you about his interview?
Anne-Marie, good morning. For weeks, months now, the topic of COVID and DeSantis' support for a lockdown at the first couple months of the pandemic has been a sticking issue between him and former President Trump. And DeSantis on Fox last night was asked, South Dakota, Georgia, these governors actually opened up before Florida. What do you say to that? And DeSantis, said that Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, did a good job, but then said something new to me, which is, he touted how he overruled local governments when it came to mask mandates and vaccine mandates first. He was the first governor to do so, he was saying. And I just think it's interesting that DeSantis is leaning into his COVID response as other opponents are looking to make that a vulnerability for him.
Yeah, that will be interesting. As you know, there's numbers and there's data, and you can interpret it any way you want. So I'm pretty sure some of these other candidates are going to bring that stuff up. Let us talk about former New Jersey Governor Christie. He held a town hall in New Hampshire. He sort of positioned himself as the one candidate that's willing to openly criticize Donald Trump. But it looks like he also went after DeSantis. Let's play a little of that.
One of the other candidates in this race, Governor DeSantis, says he doesn't want to get in a proxy war with China. I think we need to send a telegram to Tallahassee. Let them know it's already started. The proxy war has already begun. So I worked hard for Donald Trump. So I'm not one of these folks who comes up here who someone could call a never Trumper. I wasn't. But on election night 2020, when he stood behind the seal of the president in the East Room of the White House and told all of us the election was stolen, that's when I got off.
So I found it quite interesting. I'm not surprised that Christie is willing to sort of criticize Donald Trump, because that's always been his kind of personality, right? He's a little more combative. I have found it interesting that none of the other candidates have even attempted to criticize Ron DeSantis, because I thought, well, he's in the number 2 position. But Christie is doing it. So what is Christie's strategy here?
So ever since Ron DeSantis' answer on Ukraine a couple months ago, foreign policy has been one vulnerability for him. It's been something that Republicans in Congress and in the presidential field have been willing to criticize the governor on. But as you mentioned, Christie does have this combative style. He's looking to make some noise here and kind of differentiate himself from the rest of the candidates. But in polling, Christie is still in those single digits, while DeSantis, while he, trails former President Trump by a good amount, does lead the rest of the pack by double digits. So, Christie here is maybe showing a preview of what he could be, saying to Ron DeSantis if he makes it to that debate stage.
And in the meantime, as we mentioned at the top, a number of candidates are holding campaign events. Governor Ron DeSantis is in South Carolina, Christie, and former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson. They're both in New Hampshire. Of course, New Hampshire's early primary state, so you understand why they're there. What are you going to be keeping an eye on?
DeSantis begins his day with a press conference in Florida, and then he heads to South Carolina. I'm curious to see how he interacts with voters if he continues to take questions. I was told by one South Carolina Republican strategist earlier this week that DeSantis hasn't really proven himself yet in South Carolina. Yes, there are people that are curious about him, but this is a state that Trump won by 10 points in that 2016 primary and has only grown his support. So they're all looking to see how DeSantis cuts into that. As far as Asa Hutchinson, and Chris Christie. I'll be curious to see, the crowd size, frankly. And the mission for both of them right now is to get to that debate stage and garner enough support. So that's going to be something I'm watching, as well as if they do decide to continue to go after Governor DeSantis, who, as you mentioned, is that number 2 to Trump right now.
All right, Aaron Navarro, thank you.
Thanks for having me.